Hi everybody, it's Duncan from McRae's Window Cleaning. It's great to chat with everyone out there in YouTube land again today. This is the final episode of our series, How to Start a Window Cleaning Business in Australia. I'm sitting out here near the waterfront, close to home, and enjoying the sunshine. And I thought I'd bring to you today some observations from my wife Sharon, who has been with me on this journey. Things that she's observed has made our business a success, and we believe that will help you with your business. So we're back in a moment to share those points with you. So what are those key points that we would like to share as a sum up to this series? Well, the first one that Sharon mentioned is to respond quickly to phone calls and inquiries. If people leave a message, if you just can't take the phone call and it goes to voicemail, try to get back to them within the hour, so that people realise that you've got the message, you're interested in their business, and that you want to be of assistance to them. We've scored a lot of jobs in the past just because we got back quickly. That's really why they signed us up, is because of our prompt response to their inquiry. If you need someone to take a message for you, try and respond and reply to that message as soon as possible. So at times people will ring my wife, ask her for some information, she'll take their details, pass it on to me, and within a quarter of an hour we're back discussing it with the client. So that's an important way to connect with people. Point 2 is the need for us to be polite and professional. So when you answer the phone, answer in a professional manner. Even if it's on the weekends when you're not really working and it's a day off, still answer the phone in a professional manner, because it may be that this is the only time that this potential client has to talk to somebody. And so if they're talking to you on a Sunday, well, just be professional, be polite, be respectful. And it's amazing how at times people aren't that way. And of course, that disheartens them in their dealing with tradespeople and service people. One of the keys with being professional is to be punctual. I always make sure that I'm at a place, at the job, at the quote, on the time that I've designated with the person. Sometimes I'm early, which people have this wry smile and say, "Oh, you're early." But in Australia, it's become almost traditional that tradespeople and service people will be late. People kind of expect that you're not going to turn up on time, which is really, really sad. So be a point of difference. Be someone who's there on time so that you're reliable. And people love punctuality when it comes to service people, whether it's at their business or at their homes. Point 3, be a pleasant person to deal with. Be someone who can interact well. You don't have to have the most amazing people skills, but just be pleasant. Here's a motto that I live by, something that my wife taught me, and the motto is like this: enthusiasm is not a random mood, but a matter of choice. Let me repeat that. Enthusiasm is not a random mood, but a matter of choice. Yeah, things may not have worked out yesterday. Today's a new day. Manifest an enthusiasm, a pleasantness in interacting with people. They remember, they talk about that. And it makes your day go better if you're a pleasant person to deal with. So that's point 3. Point 4, keep good records. Record all the details of your interaction with somebody, all the details of the job, the addresses, the contact details, anything that needs to be recorded. Make sure it's clear and legible. That's so important for anyone who is following up after you. It's important when you go back to a client and talk to them, you've got all that information. So that's an important aspect of maintaining a good structure to your business, good records. So there's 4 points: responding to phone calls and inquiries quickly, being polite and professional. Part of being professional is to be punctual, whether for quoting or for the actual job. Thirdly, be a pleasant person to interact with, so that people find you really an enjoyable person to have in their home, to have visit their business. And fourthly, keep good records of all transactions, all activities of the business. Now, the next few are to do with the actual business accounting paperwork. So point number 5 that Sharon mentioned is to keep all work-related receipts. Don't lose them. You know, we might be so busy with work that we just shove them in a box. Where's that receipt for that stuff you got from the supplier? Somewhere in the car. No. Make sure those work-related receipts are kept and put in a place where they're easy to access, easy for your bookkeeper to get to reconcile your accounts. You have no idea that that item that you bought may be something that will benefit you at tax time. All those details. When the tax office wants to audit you, you've got all the receipts, you're fine, no dramas. But keep all those receipts and keep them in order. Number 6 is to know the Australian tax laws. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, here's an example of knowing the tax laws. You as a business owner need to know the difference between a subcontractor and an employee. You think, how crazy are you, Duncan? Of course I know the difference. Do you know the difference from the perspective of the Australian Tax Office? The Australian Tax Office are currently in 2019-2020 clamping down on businesses that pay people subcontractor rates when that person is literally an employee, gets all their work from the one source. They're not a subcontractor, they're an employee. But the business is trying to dodge things like work cover, superannuation, all those entitlements that an employee has. And so the Australian Tax Office are handing out big fines to businesses who get it wrong. So you need to know the law to protect yourself. You need to know what you can claim as a tax-related deduction. You need to know why it's important to have your records for GST collecting and have all those details very easily accessible. So you really need to know the laws, and you need to know how it's changing as time goes by. The second last point is make sure that you engage a reputable and qualified bookkeeper. You don't want a bookkeeper who's going to try and fudge the books and get you into trouble. Recently came across a situation where an accountant really messed up the records of a number of businesses, helped them to get what they thought was a situation where they didn't have to pay tax, when in reality, when a forensic accountant came in and checked it all, they had a massive tax bill. So you need to make sure that your bookkeeper, your tax agent, is reputable and qualified. They know what they're doing, so that you don't get caught down the track if the tax office decides to audit your accounts. I've gone to the extreme of making sure that every I is crossed, because I don't need to worry about being audited by the tax office. And that's because, of course, Sharon is my bookkeeper. She's qualified. But make sure you have someone who can go through those things with you, and that takes off so much pressure. Now, the last point. You need to work hard at resolving issues with clients in a way that they're going to be satisfied. Now, it may be that sometimes you have to go back and redo part of the job because they weren't really satisfied with that. And sometimes they expect more than is possible. You know, sometimes they see a dirty window and they think, Duncan, you didn't clean that. But in fact, you cleaned it 3 times, but you found that it's water stain from them hosing their windows with the hard water coming out of their tap. And so over the years, it's just built up, and they think you've neglected that job. So you need to try and negotiate, interact with them in a way that they're satisfied, that you're satisfied. It may be that you need to provide a discount so that you can connect with them. So it's important to do that because clients talk, ratings are everything. Happy clients talk, unhappy clients talk. So those points that we've looked at will really help you to see how to make your business a success. So I'd like to just review those 8 points that we considered. Firstly, respond to phone calls and inquiries quickly. Secondly, be polite and professional. Be a pleasant person to deal with. Show a genuine enthusiasm for what you do. Keep good records of all activities, records of your clients, records of the client jobs, anything that requires record keeping, keep it legible and plenty of them. Number 5, make sure that all work-related receipts, tax invoices are all kept together and given to your bookkeeper. Make sure that you understand clearly the tax laws of Australia so that you're not caught doing something that you were ignorant of. Make sure you educate yourself. The tax office has a great website that helps you understand that. Don't rely on your accountant knowing all those details. Speaking of that, make sure that you have a reputable and qualified bookkeeper who can look after your requirements, sending off your quarterly BAS reports, making sure your GST is lodged, all of those aspects, that you're sending it all off to the government at the appropriate time. If you have a good bookkeeper who knows what they're doing, save you so much issues. And lastly, work to resolve those issues that may come up from time to time. They won't come up all the time, but develop the ability to negotiate with them. You need to know that, develop that ability. If they're late paying, you need to be able to talk to them about it. Why hasn't the bill been paid? And that will enable you to maintain good relationships. Remember, happy clients talk, but so do unhappy clients. So I hope you've really enjoyed this series. If you have, please share it with someone. Keep subscribing, hit that bell here at McRae's Window Cleaning. And I look forward to catching up with you soon. Don't forget you can leave a message on our social media page just there. And until next time, have a great week and we'll see you soon.